with the basics. Just about every single thing you're going to do in Fusion 360 is going to start with a sketch. And the way you start with a sketch is to say, navigate up to here, create, and then say create sketch. Okay. Once you do that, Fusion is going to prompt you to pick a plane. Which plane do you want to work in? And the plane that you select will go gray. So you see I can work in the vertical plane, either one of these two axes, or I can work horizontally. I'm going to pick this plane so that you'll see that I've navigated to the front view. This is a really important tool that you have at your disposal, because from this you can navigate all around. You can see that in my 3D space, I'm looking at it from the front. When we're sketching, this isn't too useful, but when you start to get 3D geometry, that gets really helpful. So let's just start very basic and include some sketches. So we want to do this motor mount. So I'm going to create a rectangle in a two-dimensional space. I'm going to place my first corner in the origin, and you can see that when I do this, I get two different numbers. And with these numbers, I know the dimensions I want. I wanted to make a rectangle that's 24 millimeters high by 26 millimeters. Okay, that's 26 millimeters. That's the size of the object I want. And then when I hit enter, I get that. And I can zoom in using the center button of my mouse. If I hold down the mouse, and I can slide around like that. So now I've got my basic outline, but what I want is that curved part. So I'm going to create a circle. There are different ways to create circles or to include circles. You can have it so that the center point is the point that you start with. Another way to do it is a 2-point circle, and that just starts the circle at a certain point. So I'll try it that way. And if you watch what I'm doing here, you see there's an X, X, X. That just means I'm choosing to place my point, that edge of my circle on that line. But as soon as you navigate to the center of this shape, you get that triangle, which then tells me I can actually get the midpoint. So let's say I create a circle. I know my motor mount is 20 millimeters. So rather than trying to figure it out, I'm just going to type in 20. And when I hit enter, I get a circle that's got a diameter of 20. Now what I also want are some curved edges here. So I'm going to try a different tool, which is modify offset. And when I click that and I select the geometry I want, I get this thing that I can scroll in or out. And you can see the actual dimensions are here. I'm going to make my offset 3 millimeters and click OK. So now you see what I have here. I have this geometry along with this. And that's really all I need to make my motor mount. One thing I'm noticing is that this is just too high. I want my motor mount to be able to slide in. So maybe what I can do is instead of a 24 millimeter high, I might want to bring that down to say 22 millimeters and make it like that. So now you see I have this. Now this is the kind of neat part about this. I can say finish my sketch, and then I'm left with that. You can see that now I've created this sketch. I can hide it and then you don't see anything, or I can show it. So now what I want to do is create a 3D geometry from this. So I'm going to click create, extrude, and then I'm just going to click the parts of this object that I want, and I can do that by clicking and then shift clicking. Actually, you don't even need to. It just clicks everything that you want. So you see these are the two things I want, and it's hard to see. This is where this tool comes in really handy. If I click once, I can rotate, and you see this arrow there. That's telling me how I can extrude. So if I pull it back or forward, I can create 3D geometry for my thing. Let's say I want my motor mount to be about 1 centimeter. So I would click 10 millimeters. Navigating back to the home, that's where I have. So now I have some 3D geometry. It's useful to know how to navigate. Clicking the middle, scrolling with the middle mouse will make this bigger and smaller. Clicking and holding the middle will allow you to move it around. When you do shift and click the middle, it allows you to pan. And sometimes you can get yourself kind of turned around. You can always click back to the home to find that. And another way to do it is just to click these side panels. I can look at it from the right. I can look at it from the top. I can rotate it around like this, and then I can go back to look at it from the top. Or I can go home, and that shows me my 3D object.